Alright, this is lesson number 1, creating a blank workbook. So what we're going to do is when you first start up Excel, you'll see here that we've got, this is the workbook down here, and above it is the Excel program, and you have to sort of keep this separate. Excel is the program and the workbook is what we're going to enter all of our data into, and the workbook is made up of lots of sheets, so it's a book that has sheets in it, which kind of makes sense. Now you'll see at the top right hand corner here that there's a minimize, maximize, and close button for the software Excel, and below that you've got a minimize and a restore and a close, and this is for the workbook. So if you click restore, for example, it'll help illustrate this. So what I did was when I clicked the restore, it actually put the workbook in a restored view that sits inside of the Excel program. So this is actually sitting inside. You can have several books at the same time. By default, Excel just names the book Book 1, generic name. So for example, if we want to create another book, we could use a hotkey called the Control N key. When you push Control N, it creates another book. So I'm just going to grab the corner and I'm going to resize it, and this is just using your Windows resize and move features. And you can see here I've got two workbooks now, Book 1 and Book 2. Alright, now if you want to save the workbook, then there's a couple ways to do it. The easiest one is to start off with either Control S, or you can press this icon here at the top in the quick launch. When you press that, it takes book number 1, and I'm just going to call this Demo 1, and I'm going to click Save. And when I do that, you'll see here that it changed the name from Book 1 to Demo 1. The same thing here. If I wanted to create another, save this file called Book 2, simply just select it and then click on the floppy diskette. And again, we'd do the same kind of thing. We would type in Demo 2 and we click the Save button. You can see here both of those files now have been saved as separate files. Now if you want to create a workbook without pressing the Control N, because that just brings up a blank book, there is other options. Alright, at the top left corner under the Office button, if you click it, we can also create a new book, but this one gives us a few more options. And what this does is you see here is you can create a blank or a recent one that you've worked on, or bring up one from a template or templates that you've created. Also, Microsoft has created a whole series of different blank template workbooks that you can just simply click on and try out. So just to illustrate the basic one here, is just go and double click the blank workbook, and when you double click it, it's just going to open up the same thing. This is book number 3. So you can see here that it's a lot easier if you just went Control N and created a new book. So example, Control N again, and you'll see there's book 4. You can create as many as you want. So that's basically how you create a workbook inside of Excel, and we'll see you in the next video.